see that we're sending the data across the different channels, and it looks like we're coming on. I got that little eyeball signal.
Awesome.
And now all 3 channels say online. And I'll go through what those are for people.
We'd love to hear.
We're Facebook, Glocker Realty and Insurance. YouTube, Glocker Realty and Insurance. Facebook, Jeff Frederick with Glocker Realty. Those are the 3 channels that we're streaming to right now. And now I can see that people are starting to come on to the show.
I just
So
got my
we have
notification,
some
Matt.
watchers.
Awesome.
We have some
I'm one
watchers.
of them. So hopefully there's more than one.
No, there's more. I
Okay.
can see people coming in. They're finding it.
Awesome.
So listen, if you're watching, please remember that we do monitor the comments during the course of the show. So if you have a question or if there's something that you want to talk about, I can see most. For some reason,
Yeah,
not
not
all,
for some reason.
but I can see most of the comments. So put your comment in there if you have a question.
And we like comments.
Yeah.
Jill is saying hello.
Hello,
Hello,
Jill.
Jill.
Hi.
Hey, Jill. How are you?
The thing about the comments are the more comments, the more likes, the more shares that the show gets. Facebook wants to show it to more people because it's a popular show.
And that will
Makes
certainly
sense.
help Semper Pie tonight, right?
It will help this brand new business here in lovely borough of Boyertown. That's a little bit of a tongue twister.
10 times quick. Can you do it?
No.
No.
Borough of Boyertown.
Yeah.
Get the word out that they're here, they're open, they're ready for business. They slinging some pies.
And we'll be eating some of those pies.
Sure.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for having us.
And if we do a good job, they might even pop us one of those hats right there.
Yeah,
Chris
of course.
Fisher is saying hello.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Leanne Moyer Germ is saying hello.
Hi, Mom.
Dan Giraco is saying hello. Cheesecakes are the bomb. All right, we got a fair amount of people watching now. So
Let's get the program started.
let's get the program started. This is the
Right.
cast at Glocker. Every week on Wednesday at 6 o'clock, we talk to businesses, nonprofits, organizations in Boyertown and the surrounding communities so that we can bring everybody up to speed on what's going down
in
Boyertown.
Love it.
All right? So here we are with Semper Pies, Crystal and
Kevin.
Kevin. See? I remembered Crystal, but I didn't remember
Yeah.
Kevin.
Well, Crystal, to be fair, Crystal's on our paper here. So
Right.
That's true.
And I talked to Crystal earlier
Kevin
this
was the
morning.
secret.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be here, but he was just the husband.
The secret weapon. though.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
But he's not just the husband because
No.
he has something to do with the name,
He does.
a little bit.
and we'll find out what else he has to do with the business. Right?
So let's start chewing into it.
Let's
see what I did there.
Oh, man.
See what I did there.
Nice,
like it.
Matt. Right off the bat.
cheers.
Awesome. So, Crystal and Kevin,
Hi.
Hi. Thanks
glad to
for
be
having
here at your location on Reading Avenue in Boyertown.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
And I think the number
to
one
have you.
question is, what do you do?
So husband and wife, we are cheesecake bakers. We started this about 6 months ago. It's a kind of funny story. I had to make a dessert for the best baker I know, which is my mother-in-law, and I lost sleep over this. It was awful. Well, I came to the conclusion of making our famous apple pie cheesecake, and it was a huge, huge success. Everyone loved it. And
So this was your your mother-in-law's
Y-
recipe.
It was not. No,
Oh,
it's just
oh.
something I came up with.
Oh, okay.
But I was just nervous because it's a
Yeah,
big.
it's the mother-in-law,
It
sure,
is,
yeah.
She was taking it to both houses, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at my mom's. But everyone loved it, and yeah.
And so,
So-
what triggered the, hey, everybody loves this.
Well,
Let's turn it into a business.
yeah. So kind of funny as we're sitting there getting into it and digging in, and the idea struck me. You know, this is a good idea, and I had been laid off for a while, and you know, she was laid off still, you know, from the pandemic, and you know, we thought, why not put them on Facebook or sell them somehow, get them out there, and see what happens. You know, what's the worst that can happen? And you know, we took a chance, and it really paid off within, I think, posting up that post, we got maybe 40 or so cheesecakes.
Yep. And then we got into some events in Boyertown. We got linked up with the Cobrookdale Railroad.
Okay.
And that was going great. And then soon after, we actually got shut down, which is funny. From Food and Safety came, shut us down because we were making...
Not at the Cobrookdale Railroad.
No.
At your home.
Yeah,
At their
because-
clandestine cheesecake location.
The Cheesecake
Yes.
Factory.
The underground cheesecake factory.
Yes. They,
So there we were making them, and they shut us down. And
Did they handcuff you?
No,
it
it was just a
wasn't that
nice
dramatic.
phone call. It
Yeah.
was really nice.
Yeah, so they did what they had to do.
Did they call and say tisk tisk tisk? You shouldn't be doing this. type
Yes,
thing?
yes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
at that time, I had to be honest with Cobrookdale and let them know because I had an event coming up, and I was very honest, and I said, hey, I can't, this is why. And he was like, oh, don't worry about that. I have a kitchen over here that you can use. So we went and checked it out. We got the key the same day. So we started cranking out in the kitchen of the Cobrookdale Railroad.
Yeah, and by the way, we just, for anybody watching, we just want to say a huge thank you to Cobrookdale
Yes,
Railroad
for sure.
for letting us into their kitchen and letting us use it and really giving us the chance, the foothold that we needed as a business to excel and to grow. And really, we couldn't have done it without them. It's
Yeah.
just...
We were going to walk away.
We were about to give up on it, and the same day, and this is one of these things. This is a great story because as soon as we tried to get away from it, or it seemed like it would fall apart, another plan would come together that would solidify everything again and put us right back on the map, and twice as good as what we were. So this one right here, she's a great networker, and she has. I mean, if you see her walking into a business with a cheesecake and a business card, you know what it is because she is relentless.
I'm sure no one's
she is
turned you down
relentless.
yet.
Yeah,
You come in
no.
with the
Yeah.
cheesecake
Yeah.
and business card, you're probably going to get talked to at least, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe
So-
I'll take her on some of my listing appointments. Just won't
It was
go in
great.
there.
Here's your cheesecake.
Cake?
Now let's talk business.
Yes.
Well, listen, there's a couple
Yeah, I think
of
you
pieces.
came up with a great idea.
I think so too. We'll have to talk after the show.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
There's a couple of pieces of this puzzle that are falling into place because when we were at Cobrookdale Railroad, Nathan Lab, you asked
I
Nathan,
did.
where do the cheesesteaks
Right.
come from? And he's like, oh, that's a secret location.
I was going to bring
he
that
couldn't
up.
reveal it because if they were in trouble with the law.
Right.
Now it's all starting to make sense.
I was thinking the same thing, Matt. I was
funny.
when they were telling us this.
Nathan Lab is on the show. He's watching right now. So
Hey,
he,
Nathan.
he
Thanks for
heard your
watching.
big shout out to
awesome.
Nathan
Good.
and
Well, we
the folks
appreciate you,
over at
Nathan.
Colebrook.
Yes. Good.
Yeah. And there we were selling our cheesecakes by the cold train platform in the middle
Yeah.
of winter. And,
February.
it is what it is. We were mostly out of boredom, but at the same time, we were trying to make money. I was laid off at the time, and from the union, and she was too. From
It got us through the holidays.
So it got us through the holidays. It
Yeah.
made us
We
a
were
little bit
very
of money
thankful.
and gave us a buffer, really. So as soon as we got done with all that, you want to take it away from here? When we got done with the railroad and we started getting in and
we started getting in their way because
Yeah.
our demand got really high out of nowhere. So we
Okay.
started getting in their way. So we were looking into.
Well, it wasn't out of nowhere. It's because
No.
the cheesesteaks
They're
are so,
so
yeah,
great.
they were
They
taking
are
off
so
at that
great.
point.
So
So
good.
But
So they're
so we
blowing
were
up.
looking into locations, and
Yeah.
we felt Sherry was selling, but it didn't work out. So then again, we were going to walk away from it. We were nervous. We didn't know what to do. We wanted to get out of the Cobrookdale Railroad's way. But then Jillian directed us to Keith at the Grind, and
Okay.
we partnered with the Grind, and it was going great. We had our own kitchen over there, our own setup, but it only lasted a few weeks, unfortunately. And then I found out that the owner of Izzy's bought Sherry's, and I pretty much, he'll say I harassed
she
him.
hounded them.
I did. I
She
did.
hounded him.
For-
So you got to do
Track him
something. That's
down,
what you got to do,
folks.
I
right?
did. I tracked him down. and I-
Persistence paid off.
it did, and well, now we're here.
You know,
And
yeah, we got a great bargain on it and everything, and realistically, we moved in here 2 weeks ago, a
2
week and a
weeks
half
ago.
ago, and started setting up shop, doing our thing, and it's been great ever since we.
And you haven't even had your official grand opening yet.
no
Not
sets.
yet. That's May 22nd.
Yep.
Okay.
So
From 11 to 3.
Okay. Is that ribbon cutting and
It
everything?
is.
Yes.
Yep. Ribbon cutting also.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? So okay. So something special about your cheesecake business is that it's called Semper Pie
Yes.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you hashtag giving back by the slice.
Yes.
So tell us about those two particulars.
Okay, so the
about
name.
business.
So I'll address the
Yeah.
name. So the name, obviously, Semper Pie, Semper Fi. It's a Marine thing. Semper Fi is a Marine thing. It means always faithful, and that was a huge part of my military service. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps, active duty, and did some time in Afghanistan. And I love the Marine Corps, and I have 2 brothers that are in. So for me, naming it this is part of my embodiment also, and the values that I stand for, and
Right.
what I want my family to be. So which is always faithful. That's what Semper Fi means. But Semper Pie, it was kind of one of those funny names that I always just thought about. I said Semper Fi, Semper Pie. It was always something at the chow hall. It kind of went through my mind. And, one day when we were actually sitting down with the cheesecake and figuring out what we were going to name it, I said, well, we introduced our apple pie cheesecake first.
That's our special. Yeah.
That's our classic, our front runner. So why not call it Semper Pie? Because we made an apple pie cheesecake, and that's how Semper Pie
and
came
what's
to be.
more American than apple
you
pie?
you
Right?
can't
Yeah,
argue with
exactly.
it. No, it's a catchy name, and it shows a lot about how proud we are.
Yeah.
So
I'm very curious about that flavor. I'll have to come back one day and
Yeah.
get one of those.
What, the apple pie?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Luckily, you're trying it tonight.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We
You have
made
to
some-
try the special one.
Yeah.
That's where it all
That's
started.
where it all started.
All right.
That's the
Yeah.
one definitely
Cool.
want to try.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I don't want to interrupt your story, so actually, if you give me some cheesecake, I'll shut my mouth, and then you can talk all you want.
Yeah.
we got another hour at least.
Yeah,
so.
right? But,
You want to go get it?
yeah, I'll go get it.
So do you want to talk about the hashtag giving back by the slice too, or?
Yeah, sure. Basically, what we want to do is, what we have been doing is saving a portion from every sale, and what we've done with Colebrookdale Railroad, even we've given back a sizable donation to them, to just as an effort to show, this is something, for our town that's a good thing. We want to continue this. We want to build on this, and then not only that, we want to continue that into another direction as well. For example, through, I believe it's February through September of this year, we'll be donating to the Fisher House. And
I'm sorry. What's
the Fisher House is so for those of you who don't know, the Fisher House is it's based out of Maryland, and they basically say if there's a wounded guy that comes back into the base to get a surgery or whatnot, his family can come and stay at this place called the Fisher House for free for an unsaid number of days, and they're housed there for I don't know how long, but they basically get taken care of, and that's kind of, these are people that give back to us when we come back from these deployments.
Right.
And there's been so many people that have really been lifesavers in so many regards to the guys coming back, and these are just unsung heroes that we need to keep giving back to these causes. We need to keep looking ahead and seeing what's important here, and this is one of the things that it sinks home, it hits home for us, and it is important to us to give back, and we're not stopping with the Fisher House. We want to put a veteran in a home that doesn't have a home. We want to continue this, and this giving back by the slice it's only one piece of cheesecake, but it's more than a piece of cheesecake.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we're made of as people and humans.
And that's a great cause. And we were talking earlier when we're setting up here. I was telling you how in talking to all these business owners from the area, that you all have something in common.
Yeah.
And one of those things is that every business owner gives back and supports, whether it's a cause, whether it's the community, whatever. They're always giving back. They're not just taking in and saying, "Hey, I love making all this money."
Yeah.
Right.
They always, and they want to. It's in their
Yeah.
hearts to
Yeah.
give back, just as yours is. So,
Yeah.
I think
I think you hit the nail on
Yeah.
the head. We're hearing that every single week in, week out. And what's interesting to me is that, and we say this on the show all the time, but it's worth reiterating because we have new watchers tonight. These businesses like Semper Pie. These are your neighbors. They live on your street. They live in your block. They live in your community. They're sponsoring your nonprofit. They're sponsoring your little league team, on and on and on. So I don't think it's too much to ask to come down and buy a cheesecake.
I don't think you almost don't have to ask.
It's right. But you see what I'm saying? It's a circle.
Yeah.
Those dollars are gonna stay local. They're gonna help the people that you live with, the people that you work, the people that you play with. So support local businesses, and those support local charities, on and on and on and on.
And it's not that like big businesses don't give; they also give.
No, that's true.
But when you keep it in your community,
it's something special.
It means more.
That's exactly what I was going to think. I think it's more important. It's more personal,
Absolutely.
because you know exactly, where that dollar came from, and you know where it's going.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We've seen that nonstop from the get-go. As soon as we started networking and building, just a little bit of networking really does go a long way here. And just reaching out to these owners and different people of influence here in Boyertown and saying, hey, we don't know what we're doing, but you do. So guide us in the right direction and show us the way. We've made some mistakes here. We made a couple of hiccups. This is what we're good at. This is what we're not good at. And these people are more than happy to guide us by the hand and say, this is what you need to do, A, B, C, and here's what you don't want to do. And that's really, I like the advice. We kind of like the advice that don't want to do advice. So ultimately, we know that we've got a really good thing going here, but we wouldn't have this thing here, this awesome business of ours,
if it wasn't for our community.
And the local businesses around. And if you guys are in the area, stop by Colbrookdale Railroad. Schedule a train ride, down the tracks, and go over to the grind and get a dinner or a lunch. And these are all people that influenced us, that helped us, and we couldn't be more thankful for them.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of questions coming across the board. Dan Jureko wants to know if you'll be partnering up with your mom with her nonprofit at all.
Maybe.
With her nonprofit at all, because she has become very popular in town.
Tell us about your mom.
So my mom helps the homeless in Pottstown. So
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she does. She's really gotten herself.
She was just on the news maybe a month or a couple months ago. She's the ferry.
The ferry.
She runs the ferry group.
Okay.
Do you know about this, man?
I'm not familiar with it, no.
Okay. They just gather donations and things from different people in the community that want to help out and give back to homeless people, and they gather all this stuff and they go down to Pottstown and they hand it all out. And they've been doing this. They've been at it for a while now, and they know what they're doing. So
I will make this suggestion. Well, I'm on the board of directors for the Pottstown Cluster of Religious Communities, which is Pottstown's food bank.
Okay.
And through the power of collective purchasing and the food bank, the cluster is also tied into the regional food distribution through Phil Abundance. So if your mom's nonprofit, let's say, is spending $1 at the grocery store to buy something to feed these people, she can order it through the cluster, and her dollar becomes $1.60.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the other thing that the cluster does in the borough of Pottstown and the surrounding area is it pulls all these resources together so that they can track how much is being used, because this is all grant funded. So the more that the cluster knows is being used and distributed within the community, they can get more grants, they can get more food. They just got a van, and they have a refrigerator truck that comes from Phil Abundance to drop this stuff off.
Nice.
They also get donations through Redner's and Giant and some of the other restaurants. So what I encourage people do who are into feeding the homeless or feeding the needy is to partner with the cluster. They're not taking your flag away. You know what I mean? You're going to fly your flag, but they'll be behind you helping with the organization. And the biggest thing that I can recommend is this purchase power. For every dollar you spend, the cluster can get that turned into $1.60. So it's a 60% savings on purchases for things. after the show, I'll hook you up. There's some other
Yeah.
folks I'm going to hook you up with in Pottstown.
good.
After you talk about the
good.
cluster, I see there's a lot of cluster shout-outs going on there.
Is there?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's see what else is going on. Will you ever sell by the slice? But I think that's a good question. So you should get into the actual pie itself and show people what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it might. I think the question is based on someone thinking that it's
That's
a
a
whole
full pie,
big
yeah.
pie.
Okay.
We sell 4 inches. This is our banana split right here. But yeah, all our sizes are in the 4-inch, and we also have 9-inch for pre-order. I'm sorry.
So
Okay.
basically, what you are buying is about it's a
large
generous
slice. Yeah, generous
slice
slice.
of
Yeah.
It's
pie.
it feeds like 2 people, I would say. Like,
Yeah, and it's rich, right?
It
Because
is
it's
very
cheesecake.
rich.
Man,
All right.
I got to tell you, dude, I can't stop looking at it. It looks awesome. Look, she gave you the big half because you're the big guy, right?
All right.
Bon appetit, guys.
Now everybody's watching this show. That
Gauge
It's
your
good.
reactions.
is really good.
All
It
right.
is really good.
There you go.
So, I like sweets and I like desserts.
Yeah.
But I don't like my sweets and my dessert overly sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a too sweet level for me.
Yes.
The cake is
Is-
super tasty
Mhm.
and it's sweet, but it's not overpowering.
No.
Yeah.
And I like the topping too. The apple pie topping.
Did you get
is
some
really
apple
good.
chunks in there?
I did.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's
that
our homemade
chunks
apple
good.
apple pie.
It's like
Yeah.
apple pie filling on top of a cheesecake. It's good.
I'm loving it.
It's good.
We're glad you enjoy it.
And so now you got to come clean, though, dude. Since you're loving it, you got to come clean to everybody right here on the
Yes,
show,
we do.
dude.
Well, as my wife knows, I'm not a huge. That almost went bad. There.
That was, yeah.
I'm not a huge cheesecake fan,
Okay.
but I honestly, camera people, I love this.
Good.
I mean, because it does have that cheesecake. It has a cheesecake in it, but there's so much more to it,
Yeah.
and that's what I really love about it.
And realistically, every week, so we're going to be updating our flavors and releasing 5-6 new flavors a week, and we just like to keep that going, where we show Boyertown a taste of something different. I think one of our flavors this week is upside down pineapple cheesecake.
That sounds good too.
Other
Yeah.
one is it's
Lemon blueberry.
Yeah, real lemon blueberry topping, and there's the list goes on and on.
Our best sellers, the Reese's. Everyone loves
Reese's,
the
yeah.
peanut butter.
You guys
Oh,
have
yeah.
spoken.
I love
The
the
Reese's
Reese's.
are
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reese's
gotta
king.
love it.
But this is the original one, right?
Yeah.
This is the one that
Started it.
kicked
What
it
started it
all
off.
off.
Yeah.
And this is
The
why we
apple
wanted to
pie.
show this to you guys. You know, this is how the story all began, and
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it because as not a cheese
no,
person,
yeah,
not a cheesecake
it's-
fan,
it's
I love
hurt
it.
you.
I love apple. I love apple pie
Yeah.
though. So maybe
well,
that's.
we love that you love it. So
Yeah, we're getting some shout outs for the cluster. Yes, partner with the cluster. It will help you get more organized in what you're doing down there in Pottstown.
good to know.
And yeah, those are the questions. If you have any more questions for the folks here at Semper Pie, make sure that you put them in the comment box and we'll get to them as we go along. So, I know that there was a couple other stories and a couple other things that you wanted to tell us, so make sure that we're hitting all of your highlights.
Yeah.
Back to you, folks.
Just another highlight that I just want to make sure is I want everyone to come out for our grand opening. We're going to have a little block party. It's going to be in the front, also in the back. We're going to have some live music and a couple.
Do you know who yet?
Not yet. But and then a couple.
Try scheduling YouTube, but they said they were busy.
They weren't available.
Yeah, they crazy busy. Those
Probably
guys.
conflicting
Yeah.
schedules. Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple small local businesses that are also going to come out and support us. That'll be nice. So,
Yeah.
I just had a question and it flew out of my head because
Well,
I saw another one. So
I'm-
let's get into some of the other
Okay.
visitor. Go ahead.
No, I had nonsense. I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm good at nonsense.
Ashley Marie Taylor is saying online ordering and shipping. Do you have that at all?
We
Can
don't.
you order? No.
We don't yet, but
Okay.
we're hoping to get that soon. Right now, shipping is awful
Okay.
nowadays.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah, until we find
How do
something
you
more reliable.
ship something like refrigerated?
You would just have to do like a dry ice in a box.
Oh,
and-
so you would
Yeah,
have
it is
personally have to
possible.
ship it. It's not like you can UPS it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? To be honest with you guys and be quite candid, we're not really sure all the ins and outs of the shipping part
Yeah.
right now. We're just getting our feet wet with some other things.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It might get there, though.
That is
I think so,
that is a
yeah.
huge question that we get, and we appreciate it. The other question I can answer definitely is yes, we will have a website up and running by this weekend.
weekend,
and
yep.
and that's definitive. And that's going to be what again, babe? Semper Pie 1775.
Yep.
That sounds pretty American.
It is pretty
Yeah.
American,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they do have a Facebook page.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do,
we
and
do.
an Instagram,
Yeah.
and it's at Giving Back by a Slice. So it's very easy.
At Giving Back by a Slice.
Yep.
By
And
the
your
Slice.
address here on South Reading Avenue.
It's 14.
14. All right,
South
I put
Reading
up
Ave.
18 earlier. That's my fault.
You're
14
close. You're close enough
South
that they would
Reading
be able to
Avenue.
figure it out, I
Yeah,
think.
you'd be able to
Yeah.
figure it out.
And we don't have our sign up yet. That's coming soon too.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
you
been in the
listen.
works.
You've only been open for 2 weeks,
I know,
right?
I know.
We've only been doing
We're
it
trying
for
to build
6
Rome in a day here.
Yeah,
We've got a
that's long.
mural getting painted. We have a sign going up. We have a cheesecake empire we're trying to build here.
I gotta say, I'm thoroughly impressed that your first time you made a cheesecake was 6 months ago, and this is where you're at today.
This is where we're at.
That
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing to me.
Thanks.
And-
Yeah.
Did you want to tell them about using the wrong attachments for
No,
the beater?
I don't. I mean,
Sure. Yes, you do.
for the
Let's hear it.
longest time, I was using the whisk attachment to use like to make my cream cheese
Instead of the giant
That-
blender
instead of the
part.
paddle,
Yeah,
and
heavy-duty
now it's a
paddle,
family
yeah.
joke. But
But you did it. You were
I did it.
successful
It
with
was-
it.
she was
worked
making some
out.
really great cheesecakes, and
Yeah.
didn't even know that she was really doing it with that.
Was it just harder with the?
it was,
Yeah.
yeah. It took a
Put
little
a beating on
longer.
that thing. So
So everybody's asking about different things, and I can tell just by the way you answered the earlier questions that a lot of the things that they're talking about, asking you guys, are coming in the future. So remember, they've only been open for 2 weeks. They've been concentrating their efforts first on just keeping their business running, now on opening a beautiful store here. So let them get established, and then
yeah, just a little
Don't
bit.
Everybody's got ideas for
Yeah.
it.
they'll
Yeah.
figure out how to get the pies to you. But in the meantime, it's a local business. Everybody who's typing in here isn't coming from too far away. Now, I
Right.
did see some mention of Ohio. Yes, that's going to be a little bit of a drive for you.
Yeah.
But if you're in the Boyertown or Pottstown area,
Please come see
Yeah.
us.
minutes away,
Yeah.
just come out. 14
But if you do
South.
live in Ohio,
So you're saying our cheesecakes aren't worth the drive?
yeah, I'm saying
Yeah, I would come out. I would just get in my
if
car
you're
and
in
drive
Ohio,
over here.
Ohio, you come here,
Yeah.
you get a cheesecake, you go on the train,
Yep.
and you
It's
have a
a
nice
whole
dinner at
day.
the grind.
Exactly.
I mean, and then you look
Yeah.
at the historic vehicles museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got tons of stuff to do.
Yeah,
You
there's-
could
there's
keep
so much
yourself.
to do.
You could keep yourself busy for a
Stay
weekend.
at
Oh,
the
yeah.
Twin Terrace, if that's.
I
Still
think
open,
it
I'm not
still
sure.
is. I don't know.
I know it. I think it changed
Even the
hands or
bear
something
tour
like
is nice.
that. There you go. Even the bear tour.
So we're giving you ideas.
Yeah.
Come and get a beautiful cheesesteak cake. I keep saying cheese steak.
Steak.
Cheesesteak. Maybe it's because we're close to Philly.
Yeah.
Cake, cheesecake. Come and get a beautiful cheesecake, and then see all the
Or
other
have
stuff
the cheesecake
that's going
after
on.
the cheesesteak.
There you go.
Right?
See,
There. I mean, there you go.
Just
What
call
else do
it-
you need?
Just call any one of us. We'll tell you what to do. I mean, we have no problem
We have no
telling you
problem.
what to do.
Well,
love
if you like to eat, you'll like it here.
Yes, for
So.
sure.
So since you're haven't actually got to your grand opening yet, what are your hours here?
So we're going to be open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Okay.
Thursdays, 11 to 4. Fridays, 2 to 7. And then Saturdays we're playing with. We're supposed to be open 9 to 1, but we are going to open a little longer during the day because 1 o'clock's a little too short. But
Maybe from 11 to 5 this weekend. I
Yeah.
think that's
Okay.
our goal.
Trying
So.
out.
yeah, we're
it
trying
out.
to figure
Yeah.
it out. And then by the grand opening, we plan to have like set schedule and no back and forth. We're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
new. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you where you're located right now is where Simply Sherry's was.
Correct.
And there's some talk that you might be having some items that she had?
There was talk.
Okay.
So we were originally going to bring back Sherry's recipes. That was our plan. But
Okay.
for
A few of them.
A few of them.
Yeah.
But with the demand in cheesecake right now, it's just my husband. It's just Kevin and I.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep up with just that. So right now we're doing the cheesecake, and then eventually hoping to bring on help to bring on Sherry's recipes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to stick to what you're good at. And
Oh,
honestly,
absolutely.
Exactly.
If that our business model didn't really include that to begin with, we want to acclimate ourselves and learn that in time and gather help to do that. We don't want to just say, okay, guys, we're going to give you bear claws this week, and we're going to give you chocolate cakes and cheesecakes and all this other good
Right.
stuff, and then the quality lacks, and then other things lack, and
Exactly.
then
Quality comes first, right?
It
Yeah.
is. It's
Yep.
about building your reputation, your name first, more than anything. And I think, like they say, stick to what you're good at and to what you know, and everything else will fall into place. We've gotten some pretty good offers, from people that want to come in and learn, and kind of pastry chefs and stuff like that want to have an apprenticeship here. So
Oh, yeah,
we're just.
that's a great idea.
It's a great idea, yeah. They're great, all great ideas, but we're just like I said, just one
One step
step
at
at
a
a
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't.
and honestly, if we look so tired right now, it's probably because we've been running ourselves into the ground for the last
6 months.
Yeah,
Exactly.
6 months
And
about.
he's used to drywall. He's not used to
Yeah,
working together. It's,
That was the huge thing, so here I am. I get laid off from the union and around.
Which union were you
So I
in?
was in 1955, but I still am technically am a member. 1955. That's a drywall finishers union.
Okay.
So here I am. Every day I'm driving an hour down to the city and an hour back home and to Boyertown, and life is good. And then obviously the pandemic happens and everything shuts down. Well, stuck at home for so long, you go stir crazy. There's only so much you can do. And
I think everybody has experienced that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This past year.
I did more fishing and more gardening than I ever had.
Everybody
in my
did.
entire life.
Yeah, we
Everybody
did too. Yeah.
More people
Last year,
gardened
yeah.
last year than ever in the history of.
Yep.
You couldn't find anything.
I mean, she was 9 months pregnant, trout fishing, and then 2 weeks after she has the baby, she's trout fishing again. So
Yeah.
that was our
summer.
summer.
Did you just
yeah.
have a baby too?
Yeah, we did. We had a baby.
We have a 1-year-old. Well, he's going to be 1 next month.
Oh, you got a lot going on.
We
then.
do.
Yeah.
It's busy. Yeah.
That's
So-
why you're so tired.
Yeah.
That has nothing to
Just
do
a
with the
little-
business. That's probably the easy part.
It's a mix of everything.
It is a little mix of everything.
So we interrupted you. Go ahead. You were
Yeah,
telling.
I'm sorry.
You were saying you were at home.
Yeah,
You were
so-
getting bored.
So
Trout season was over, and you're like, "What's
Yeah.
next?"
It's either divorce or something.
I'm glad you went with the something.
Yeah, we went with
decided to start a
something.
business.
It's tough. It's really tough some days because you don't always get along, and you're crammed in such a small space together, and you got to adapt. As the Marine saying goes, adapt and overcome. And really, you got to figure out that you got a gold mine on your hands. You got to figure out how to. You got the gold in the ground right now, but you just got to figure out how to bring it up to the surface and sell it.
Yeah.
And really, between the two of us, we know we figured that out. We've gotten our market down. We understand what we understand now with our business sense and our experience and lack thereof, and we're moving forward in the best direction with it. And I don't think we can be stopped. I really I don't think that anything is stopping us at this point. We had a lot that tried at first, but the dream was too big.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ultimately, we're going to be huge. And we have her to thank because she really pushed a lot of doors open when it came to. She didn't just push the doors open; she kicked the doors down.
That's what you got to
and
do.
force
right?
fed these people the cheesecake of their dreams. They didn't see. People don't know one of my favorite sales stories was this: the salesman says to the junior salesman, why didn't you sell anything? And the younger salesman says, well, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And the older salesman says, it's your job to make him thirsty. It's
Right.
your job to make him thirsty. And this is exactly what she's done. She's instilled a want for this product. And we couldn't be happier, really, with the progress that we're making and the contacts that we're making and the networking that we're doing. And this has really been a dream for us. The American dream is not dead, folks. It is not dead at all.
It's here at Semper Pie.
Yes, it's right here at Semper Pie. We took from the ashes of this pandemic and almost divorce, teetering on the brink of. We have skyrocketed.
Sounds like a movie.
Yeah, it does. It
Pretty
really
much,
does.
yeah.
Not to put a Hollywood spin on it, but this is really what
It
it
is
is.
true,
And
It's a real story. It
is.
really
Yeah.
happened. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because life is always more interesting and it has more nuances sometimes
For
than
sure.
any fiction could.
Yeah.
Here's what I do want to say, because you've been talking it up about all the support you have from your friends and family. You got a lot of people tuning in. Stephanie Fenelon, Leanne
Hi,
Moyer
Steph.
Germ. We already talked about her. She's saying your kids are beautiful. One more question from the audience. Judy Murphy is saying something about smoothies. Were you doing those at one point in time?
We are actually going to be bringing those on this weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go.
There we go.
So one thing you got to understand is the people that were, the old Sherry's customers and the people of this town that were expecting something. We got to bring it back. We'll not bring it back, but we'll do our cheesecake thing and do our business with cheesecake.
That's the main. That's the
Exactly.
mainstay.
And then we
Right.
can say, okay, let's step into the smoothie realm this week, and let's start figuring out. And her and I have already had a discussion at length about what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and execute this plan. So rest assured, Boyertown, your smoothies are safe, and they're coming soon.
They're coming soon.
Just while you're on that point, I request the bear claws be up there because I have a memory of going to Zern's, and that's the only place I ever saw bear claws before. But I'm sure
Okay.
they're everywhere. I guess.
Yeah.
And man, that was like the best donut thing in the world. First of all, they were gigantic. They're like this big.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever
that's my
had cherries?
request. I never did.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
If I would have known, I would have.
Did you remember it with icing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Good to
Let's
know.
keep that in mind.
Chocolate and vanilla.
Gotcha.
And I always
wow,
went
both.
for the chocolate.
Always chocolate. Good.
Always chocolate. Never. Do you
No
don't know a bear-
memory.
You don't. You
No,
don't have a bear claw.
don't remember
memory?
that. No.
Nah.
I have other things that I remember for Zern's.
Well, that's
just
I
that's
like
it.
their nuts. I like their baked nuts always.
The roasted
Their
peanuts.
roasted nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Zern's.
Those are
Are we
always
talking
good.
like Zern's in
Zern's,
general?
yeah.
Oh yeah, when you walked
That was
in
before
there,
my time.
They had the roaster going all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah. All right. I remember where you're talking about. Here's my point, though. You guys have a lot of people watching. One of the largest live audiences that we've had since we started the
Awesome.
show.
Cool.
So you have a lot of supporters in the community.
Thank you, guys.
And I want to throw a challenge out to them. The way you can help Semper Pie be even more successful is to hit that like button when you hear them saying something that you like. Hit that share button and share this video or this live stream out to your groups and
Yeah.
your news feeds. That will help share the word. Keep
Absolutely.
the comments coming. The more comments that occur on the show, the more people will see what's happening here. So looks like you have a good dedicated audience already. Let's put them to work for you a little bit more.
Sounds great. I love it. Thank you guys.
Hey,
No
we appreciate
problem.
yous. Seriously.
So, this week's specials.
Yes, so we have the famous apple pie. We have our lemon cheesecake with a
Okay.
blueberry topping. And then we have a pineapple upside down cheesecake.
Oh, you already mentioned these, I guess already.
I think a few
Okay.
of them.
But we haven't mentioned all of them. Did
No.
you mention? We didn't
And we
mention.
actually have keto. Everyone's
Yeah.
been asking about
What's keto?
So we have a lemon keto cheesecake with the blueberry topping also with
What's
that.
keto?
Keto is, never heard of keto? It's the new
all the rage.
Diet.
No.
It's the new
Yeah.
It's like the,
diet.
Diet.
It's like the Atkins diet, but 2.0.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Everyone's been asking about keto, so it is very important that we do have it. And we
Yeah.
usually have
So what's the deal with it? In a nutshell, what is keto? What
It's-
makes it keto?
So, I mean, the only thing that's really different is the sugar because people that are on diets want
Mm-hmm.
to enjoy, the rich, delicious cheesecake, but they can't enjoy it with all that sugar. So we make it with the sugar replacements that
Okay.
the keto.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Keto stands for ketosis.
Uh,
And that's when your body kind of goes into a mode where it's burning the fat. In order to
Instead
do
of the sugar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
In order
Wow.
to do that, you have to reduce the amount of carbohydrates that you're eating.
Right.
Some people cut them out altogether. Some people time certain carbs based on their day or their diet or their workout. But it's the keto diet. It's all the rage.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And
We've
that-
been getting a lot of comments for that.
We get a lot of gluten-free requests too. So every other week, I think we're going to differentiate. I don't know how to say that word, but it 1 week we'll do keto, the next week we'll do gluten. So
Just because, they're not as popular as,
Right.
the Reese's in front of you. But,
yeah, so our gluten people, you'll know what week to show up. Our keto people,
And
you'll
we're
know.
really good with keeping it posted on Facebook. We do keep up with that.
What's the name of your Facebook page so
It's-
people can find you there?
It's at Semper Pie. Or
At
at Giving Back by the Slice. I'm sorry.
Giving Back by the
But
Slice.
you can just- you can
you'll
just-
find that.
you can
if
just search Semper Pie.
that.
Yeah, you can
Semper
search
Pie.
It'll come
Semper
up.
Pie. Yeah.
And it'll come up on Facebook. That's
Yeah.
another good way to support them. Jump over there, like
Yeah.
their Facebook page, share them. When you see them doing some special or something that you like, come on down and get the pie. 14 South Reading Avenue, Boyertown, Pennsylvania, 19512. I don't know how many more ways we could tell you to get on down here.
No, I just finished it. My party cheesecake.
That's coming from a
awesome.
non-cheesecake
Yes,
lover, folks.
I love that.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
everybody's putting in their requests. The black raspberry,
Yeah.
That's what we need,
keto.
requests.
Yeah.
That looks like somebody from Glocker Realty Insurance is into the keto. So you got a lot of stuff going on.
Keto sounds like karate or something. Karate.
It does, but it's
What
short
do
for
you do?
ketosis.
I do keto.
Yeah,
Keto.
maybe you should invent it.
I should.
A new style.
Yeah, all these people come to lose weight, and I'm, all right, get in your stands.
You're definitely in our commercial.
all right.
Listen, man, we're
Yeah.
actually burning up this hour pretty quick. It's
Yeah.
flying by, right?
Right.
So we got to find out what's going down in Boyertown.
Well, you
right?
know what's going down in Boyertown?
Yeah.
You know what's going down? What's going down is Semper Pie. That's
Okay.
what's going on.
All right.
But this week, so that's my blog, my weekly blog. It's on jeffknowsboyertown.com, and now Jeff Knows Cheesecake, too, because I didn't know it before. Now I know it now.
Now you know.
I should ask you a question right now. You're stuffing your face with cheesecake. You're like, all right, I can dig in now. Jeff's talking.
Welcome to the cheesecake cult.
I'm in.
Yeah, we're converting everybody.
So what's going down in Boyertown is my event blog. I don't know if you guys know it, but you will be on it.
Awesome.
You'll be on this week because this
Great.
video will be on there as well. And your grand opening will be on it. And anything you guys do, I'm sure I will be following you, and hopefully you can tell me when things are going on. So,
Of course.
and so I do an event blog that's the Boyertown and surrounding area, so all around the area. One place to go if you're, hey, what are we going to do this weekend? Go to my blog and you'll find out. It's that easy.
Okay.
But I also highlight things on my blog. And this week, I'm actually going to highlight your town, Matt. Pottstown. Yeah, Pottstown. Pottstown's got a lot going on this weekend, so we got to talk about it.
is jam-packed with things to do this weekend.
It is. So I had this prepared, but as we were walking in to Semper Pie today, you were like, hey, you know what's going on in Pottstown? I'm like, yeah, I actually do this week. But they had some good historical events going on, which I know you love. I love.
I love history, especially local history,
Yeah.
American history.
And there's
Love
a big
it.
Boyertown Pottstown connection throughout history. And just even now, I mean, we partner up with the Colebrookdale Railroad. We're going to have two, what do you call that? Stations.
Two stations at one at each end.
And it's going to be a really good collaboration. And the people of Pottstown, Boyertown always seem to have some kind of connection, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway,
Even if it's some animosity from time to time.
yeah, sometimes, of
At
course.
least they share something, right?
Yeah. So they're having their 7th annual powwow on the Mantelani Creek, which is at Riverfront Park.
That's my friend Ron Williams is
Okay.
the organizer for that. He lives in my neighborhood about 2 blocks away, and he's very dedicated to maintaining, preserving, and telling the Native American story. He's the real deal. So I'm getting choked up a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is going to be the 7th year that they're doing the powwow. They couldn't do it last year because of COVID, so they're bringing it back this year. They're going to be down at Riverfront Park, and it starts at 10. They're going to have a grand entrance, which he said will start around noon-ish.
Yeah, some kind of like parade or something like that.
Yeah, there's a parade in.
The color guard's going to be there.
There's a color guard.
Yep.
They do a little ceremony for Native American veterans. It's cool. They have dancers coming from all over the country. Drum circles, Native American dancing, Native American clothing, culture, the whole 9 yards, dude. It's serious. It's real.
I am going to try to go to there because
I'm
I
definitely
have
going.
What date was that again?
Indian heritage.
Okay.
And so it's definitely something I'm into. I've been always into Native Americans
It's
as well.
Saturday at 10 o'clock at Riverfront
Saturday and
Park.
Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
That's
10 to
right.
4.
Saturday.
Check it out.
Yep. And
Sunday.
it's free to attend. They are going to ask for donations, and I say you should support them, even if it's just $5.
Yeah.
Keep that going. One of the things that now I'm getting all carried away. One of the things that Ron told us, and one of the things that I know too from my history studies of this area, is where they're having that powwow this year near the confluence of the Manatawny and the Schuylkill is a very ancient meeting place for
Oh, okay.
Indians. So he's kind of bringing it back to its historical roots.
Yeah.
That's where Native Americans met for thousands of years while they were migrating to the south down to the Chesapeake to start their fishing season in the spring
Cool.
and summer. Yeah.
Wow. Did
Yeah.
not know that. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I like the
That is
insight.
cool.
Insight,
Yeah.
man.
So much history around here.
Tons.
So yeah, check that out. I mean, there's going to be Native American dancing exhibits there, crafts, and children are welcome, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely bring your children. So that's going on, and then on Saturday, just Saturday, I keep on hitting this. Pottsgrove Manor's annual Colonial Mayfair is happening from
Yeah.
11 to 5.
Yeah, there's two. I think they're taking a break in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, they
I have
are
no-
doing an hour break.
I have no
I didn't
idea
understand
why.
it, so I didn't.
I don't either. And it might just be because they're setting up for the next activities, but there's a whole bunch of activities. They do the maypole.
They had a ton of activities going on there.
One year I went to it, they had a militia demonstration. They've had brewing demonstrations, clothing, fashion, just about anything, any part of life that you can
in the
think
1800s,
of.
yeah.
They're going to 1700s.
Yeah, 18th century, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's actually going on, and that's only about maybe a 2 or 3 block walk
Yeah.
away from where
could
the
do both.
powwow is. So you could go to the powwow and then walk over to Mayfair and check that out.
Or
too.
do one day, one the other.
That's
So
right.
you
yeah,
do have
'cause
that
the
possibility
powwow
there.
is on the Saturday and,
And
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff going on. Like you said, there's vendors, there's sutlers. Do you know what a sutler is? I had to look it up.
It's like basically it's a seller of things, isn't it?
I
Like
think
somebody
what I read a quick definition. I think it's someone that like a military person. of some
Okay,
sort.
yeah, they sell gear, like
Yeah.
producing and maintaining military gear.
Yeah, like they follow military or
Yes,
something like that.
mhm,
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know what that word was. I was like, I got to look this up.
I actually know that guy. I know who he is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Demonstrators, like you just mentioned. You can learn about life in the 18th century. There's all sorts of entertainment. There's dancing jig puppets with traditional music. I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, no,
it
they're
sounds-
they're marionettes.
That's what I figured. That's what I had pictured in my
yeah.
head.
Yeah.
What the club looked
Yeah.
like back then.
Like Punch and Judy or something.
There's some sleight of hand stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's other 18th century inspired performances. There's interpreters there, like people I guess dressed in the era and stuff like that.
Right, right. Living
you can,
history.
You can play games. Kids can play games. You can dance around the maypole, which you mentioned, and I think does that have to do with something with luck or having a good
Spring
or something like that?
Maybe.
I don't know either. And then there's crafts that kids can take home,
Right on.
as well, can make and take home. This year, the only thing different about this year is that you have to, because of COVID, you have to actually register for it.
Okay.
I guess they're going to give you certain time slots to keep the numbers of people down.
Okay.
Like throughout
I got
the day.
you. I got
Which
you.
might have something to do with
That break.
in the middle too.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure if you're interested in going that you that you register ahead of time?
They're easy to find. Just go to Facebook and type in Pottsgrove Manor.
Yeah.
It'll take you to the website, and you can get registered and
Super
everything.
simple. I was
Mhm.
on there, and it took me right to where
Real
everything I
easy to
needed
get
see.
to.
Yep.
Awesome.
Sounds easy.
So Pottstown's hopping this weekend, and we also have a car show going
There's
on,
one,
right?
yes. So that's also on Saturday.
Yeah.
It is a
So that's
busy
Saturday night, though. So that's,
Yeah.
that starts at 4:30.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're going to bring the cars in. They have a guy. I cannot remember his first name, but his last name's Ida. IDA.
Okay.
And this guy's a custom car builder and designer. If you're into that kind of thing, you should know who this guy is. He's like nationally famous. He's bringing 5 of his custom cars down there.
That's really cool.
And they're going to have a tent. There's 2 veterans that they're paying tribute to. Every year, there's a group that selects several veterans to honor them for their service. So at the tent is going to be this guy, Ida, the 2 veterans that they're honoring. They're also going to be having a booth to talk about the Veterans Island Project. They're raising money to maintain and revitalize the island at Memorial Park. Because there's a lot of military statues down there,
Okay.
including the Vietnam Memorial that a lot of people might know is down there. So that's also on Saturday. So you could start the day at the powwow, go to the Mayfair in the afternoon, and then at nighttime go to the car show. And what they're also trying to do is encourage all the businesses to be open along High Street.
Right.
So the Blue Elephant will be open, Pub, J.J. Radigan's, the beer gardens. I talked to John Vallejos, is a friend of mine. He's one of the owners of the Iron Gate Beer Garden. He's ready. He's charged up. He's like, we're going to be ready. So send people down. He's like, we're waiting for this car show. We want the car show. We want the Indian powwow. We want the 18th century people. All come grab a beer at Iron Gate on Saturday.
I'm sure that they don't have to be influenced too much to do that. Yo, you know what, Matt? I was in Pottstown with the family on Friday, last past Friday. We went to
you go to
J.J.
see-
Radigan's.
Yes.
We saw Kim and Paul play.
I walked right past there.
Did you really?
I was starving.
It was packed.
I saw that it was packed. I actually talked to Kim out front. I
Okay.
saw her out front, and I talked to her for a little bit. And then I went to Pub to get something to eat.
Yeah.
It was quieter in there. I'll be honest with you. I was tired. I
No,
didn't
we
feel
had
like
a-
cooking.
We had a 45-minute wait, I think it was,
For a table?
for a table. Yeah.
I went
And we
there.
got there at like 6.
Did ya?
6:30 we got there. Yeah.
So I went there the weekend before that with my youngest son, Adam, and we were going to go to Radigan's to get something to eat because we're both into barbecue food and stuff. Hour and a half wait.
Yeah.
Hour and a half wait. We wound up going to Jim and Sue's Cheesesteaks, which
Okay.
is in the terminal.
That's where that cheesesteak's coming from.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
They're really good. They're in the Pottstown, what used to be the Pottstown Farmers Market at
Okay,
the
yeah.
corner of Charlotte and High. So after we couldn't get a table at Radigan's, we went and got ourselves a cheesecake.
Nice. Yeah, but yeah,
No,
cheesecake.
not a cheesecake.
Oh,
cheesesteak. Why am I doing
I
that?
didn't even catch it.
Yeah, I'm flipping them
funny.
Got
around.
cheesecake on your mind.
Anyway,
But yeah, JJ Radigan's was great. The food was great. The beer was great. My kids had a great time.
Yeah.
My son played shuffleboard, and my daughter, but my son fell in love with shuffleboard.
Aw.
He's never played it before, and he was like, "This is
Yeah.
the greatest game ever."
Aw.
That's great.
I also wanted to mention we
Yeah.
are meeting with Ridgewood Winery to do a
Right.
tasting with our cheesecake with their wine on Monday.
Yeah.
And they
Another
are
live event.
another live event.
Another one.
And they are going to be here with our grand opening, so you'll be
Okay,
able to
cool.
test. Yep.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Just
On a
wanted to
roll.
throw that out there.
Yeah, that's called Wine and Dine Me.
Nathan's saying that Colebrookdale Railroad will be at the powwow. I guess they're running some kind of train or
Oh,
something
okay.
down there.
Nice.
That's cool.
Cool. I did not know
Good.
that.
Didn't either.
Yeah. I know that they have a excursion on Saturday at 1:00.
Okay.
So maybe that's the
So maybe
one.
that's what. Maybe
Yeah.
they're taking some people down there.
And they're having their bike rails or rail
rail
bikes.
bikes.
Rail bikes.
Those are pretty cool. I have to check them
Oh
out.
man, I gotta check them out.
Yeah,
too.
they look
Dude,
cool.
they're like
sold
booked
out
up
for
to like July or
Really?
something.
They're-
Yeah,
Look
they're
at
that
that.
far out.
Jump on them
They're
sooner
that
than
far
that.
out.
Hoping before it
know.
got too hot.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not even posting it because they're all sold out this week and months to come.
Wow, good for them. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. I like
it's
that
the greatest idea. I'm so
It is.
excited about it.
Good for them.
So so JJ Radigan's is great. Check it out, people. It's great place to go. Lots of fun.
How was the show?
The show was great. Kim and
Yeah.
Paul are always great. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. They're playing at Manatawny Creek Winery this Sunday.
Okay, that's one of their regular gigs, isn't it?
Yeah, they do it a few times this summer. 'Cause
Right
That's
on.
an outside gig with the I'm going a big amphitheater type field.
You know, I've never been there. That's
good.
another place that I got to add to
good
my
place.
places to go is Manatawny.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's great. You should go this Sunday, Matt. We'll be there.
Yeah, I have a whole
Mostly.
bunch of stuff to do. I got to get my garden ready. So I got 3 garden plots at Mosaic Community Land Trust at the community garden, and I still haven't touched them yet. I got to start getting those ready.
Yeah, fill it up.
Sunday I'm powwowing. I don't know if I'm going to go to the Mayfair, to be honest. I'm definitely going to the powwow, and I'm probably going to check out parts of the car show.
I'm hoping to get to the powwow.
And then Sunday,
There's so much to do.
There is so
it's
much
only one
to do.
weekend.
And guess what? It's still trout season, so I gotta.
Most importantly.
I'm still
Yeah.
trying to catch some fish, man.
Our favorite spot was just stocked, and we were like, oh, we don't have time.
Where's that?
Camp Sacanac.
Oh yes,
They were
yeah.
just
I go down
stocked,
there.
So we
Okay.
love that place.
Now you
Just-
gave it away.
I
Yeah,
know,
now
we
that's
did
all-
that
that's all
twice.
your
No, I already go there anyway. I go down. Also go a little bit further down at the
Warwick?
corner of Pewtown and French Creek Road.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
keep going down, make a right-hand turn on French Creek Road and go back up the road towards Sheeter Mill. It's
Ooh.
stocked all along there too.
Ooh, good to know. I
Yeah.
didn't think of that. Good to know.
For all you fishermen.
For
out
all you
there.
Yeah.
fishermen. So listen, there's no reason for somebody to be bored this weekend.
No.
If you want to be bored, maybe.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something to do,
Easy to find.
You'll have
Easy to find.
more than enough.
More than enough.
Yeah.
So wait, I got to bring up something else that I found looking through these events that are happening that I've never heard of in my life, and I guess I can figure out maybe how it takes place, but I'm not even sure because they don't give you any information really. Bingo with alpacas. You ever hear of that?
Part of goat yoga,
I
but
have
not that.
Yes, we
Yeah.
talked to the goat yoga. We talked to the goat yoga.
Goat yoga.
We
lady.
talked to the goat yoga lady. He's good at making goat noises, man.
Bird sounds too. Hire me for birthday parties.
Can you do it again?
What can I say?
What's the bird-
Cheesecakes.
Let me hear the bird sound.
I can't.
Yeah, well.
That's great. What else you got?
I don't even open that door, please.
So alpaca.
Alpaca bingo.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think I know how this is going to work.
I guess.
I
I'm
kind of think.
assuming,
Did
but
you read more into it?
no, it doesn't. They don't give you any information. It's the art. Oh my God, I can't say this word right now. Artisans.
Artesian?
Artesians. Artesians. Artisans.
Artisanal?
Artisans. That's it.
Artisan?
Artisans of Beyond Imagination Alpacas. That's where it's at. It's on 61 Red Corner Road in Douglasville.
This has got to be some kind of hippie thing, man.
It might. I mean, what else could it be?
You know what I think? I think they put the alpacas out in a field with some boxes, and wherever the alpaca drops.
I thought, okay, so you have a bunch of alpacas with numbers on them,
llama.
or
Okay.
with
llama spit.
with numbers on them,
Okay.
and then as they and you open one gate, and as they walk through the gate, that's the number that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
like camels.
That's my guess.
I was going a whole nother direction,
Yeah.
but
Yours
I don't
sounds
know.
too complicated,
Maybe.
but
I
who
don't know.
knows? Well, you won't know unless you go, and it's Saturday at 12 to 3.
Alpacas
Okay?
sound nice.
So if you're not into powwows
Powwowing.
or
Mayfairing.
colonial stuff,
or cars, or going to
Alpacas might be your
Radigan's,
thing,
or
right?
Yeah, right.
Alpacas
Maybe
might be your
alpacas do it for you.
So I'm interested in that. So if anybody goes, tell us next week
Yeah.
What it is.
what
yeah.
the heck alpaca bingo
for sure,
is.
fill us in.
Because I don't think I'm going to be able to fit that into my schedule, even though I really want to, just to
We'll
find
figure
out.
that out.
I think you're nicer than llamas, though, so that's probably a plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they spit as much, right?
That's what I asked him. I'm
Yeah.
like, do they spit?
One of them has to have their teeth clipped down because their teeth keep growing, and their teeth will actually grow into their face.
So in nature,
I don't
what,
know
what do they do in nature
I
that
don't know.
stops that?
I don't
Chew on
know.
a tree?
Maybe they haven't been wild for so long that I don't know.
A groundhog's teeth is the same way. It will keep growing and
Yeah,
growing.
but they
That's why
they
they're
come out.
chew,
That's why
chew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Turn us into an animal
So-
planet real quick.
Yeah.
We cover a lot of territory
Yeah.
here on the casting
A lot of
Glocker.
variety. Cheesecakes, alpacas.
We'll bring up anything.
Bird sounds.
Yeah.
It's just real, man. We're just people sitting around talking
Having a
about
conversation.
talking about stuff.
So the last thing I want to bring up is Grind Restaurant
Yeah.
in Boyertown here.
Oh, yeah.
There was a incident that happened at, and here's another connection with Boyertown, Pottstown. There's an incident that happened at High Street Music Company in Pottstown, where the apartments above flooded out
Heard about
their
this.
space.
Yeah, Lou Rieger is the owner of High Street Music,
Yeah.
and yes, one of the tenants left their washing machine running,
Yeah.
and it overflowed. It completely.
And it's not a little
dis-
tinkle. It's
It's the
destroyed.
whole
Oh no!
business.
It's
He was
yeah.
he was posting pictures and it's gone.
Sad.
I know Lou. Lou's a nice guy, and actually, there's a Cast at Glocker connection because when I started Porchcast Pottstown, which is my other live stream that I do, we were having a hard time figuring out how to get our sound set up. Lou Rieger is the one that gave us the suggestions on how to set up our sound for
really?
this show.
that
Yeah,
is
so
interesting.
and I've known Lou for a while.
Yeah.
I'm known him for years, but it's sad what
So
happened.
an unfortunate event happened there where they got flooded out and destroyed the studio. So Grind Restaurant this week, the week of 26th to the 2nd, they're donating 10% of all their sales to help them out there.
Yeah.
That's
Go
awesome.
grind.
Yep.
And also, so you can go and get a meal and know that you're helping out too. You're helping another business in need.
Do you know if you can just donate to that?
So good question. You can. They're also GoFundMe.
Okay.
It's just Luis Rieger. Is that how you
It's
say it?
Louis
Louis.
Rieger.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Louis Rieger.
Rieger
Okay.
at High Street Music Company.
Yeah.
Good to know.
If you
That's
go to
GoFundMe.
High Street Music Company's Facebook page, there's all kinds of links all
Yeah.
over it. That's actually where I've been following it because I follow his Facebook page.
Okay.
And I also follow his personal page because we're friends.
Mhm.
But all that information's been coming up on their Facebook page, which you can find just by typing in High Street Music or High Street Music Company.
Yeah.
It'll come right up
You'll
on
find it,
Facebook.
yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what's going down
That's what's going
in
down in
Boyertown and
Boyertown.
Pottstown.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is. So what we thought was going to be like just a real quick segment on the show for a couple of minutes is now like turning into a 40-hour work week for Jeff to compile all of this stuff down and get it all on your blog. Am I wrong? Like
No,
you're
no,
putting
you're not.
hours and hours
Yeah,
and hours of
for
work
sure.
into it. And we don't. You are more aggressive in what you're trying to do up here in Boyertown.
Mhm.
Amy Wolf and I on Porchcast Pottstown, we just pick a couple of things that we think people that watch our show will like or things that we're personally interested in.
Right.
And that's now even starting to take up a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine what you're trying to do where you're trying to show people everything that's going on in
Yeah.
Boyertown. Now, granted, Pottstown's just a little bit bigger than Boyertown, but it's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
to do, man.
It is.
Holy.
Yeah. And when I started this was during the pandemic, right when we opened up. I guess that was like the end of June.
Yeah.
Or middle of June, it's like we opened up.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's when I
Kinda-
started the blog.
Yeah.
And the whole reason was just to help these businesses that I know we're all struggling.
Yes.
And to say, hey, there is stuff going on. People come out and see what's going on. And now it's like things are really opening up. Now there's a real lot of stuff going on,
Right,
and it's just
right.
going to get bigger and bigger, which is great. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just becoming more and more things happening that I want to find everything because I don't want to leave. I hate when I put the blog out and then I find out there was something going on somewhere that I missed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I don't want any I got to put it
do
away.
that the whole show.
I know. So I don't want any business owner to, either feel left out or not to get the get their word
Recognition.
out. Yeah.
So how can they find you, Jeff, on social media?
Jeff, me personally, or
yeah.
okay.
If they want to get on the show, right? They want
Yeah.
to find your blog or contribute to the blog
Yes.
or the events calendar. How do they find
So
you?
for the blog,
Yeah.
the blog is jeffknowsboyertown.com. Pretty easy. I know it makes it kind of sounds pompous a little bit,
Right.
but it's just I just thought it would be easy to remember.
Yeah.
My name's Jeff. It's an easy name, you know.
Right.
And Knows Boyertown, so I thought
It's your town,
right,
man.
Right,
Yeah.
it is. So so jeffknowsboyertown.com is the website. You just go to that website. Also, if you just Google Jeff at Glocker, you'll find everything that I do comes up.
It does.
So,
I've done it.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Did you do it?
There's a
it's
lot
pretty
of
good. It lists.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You'll even see my face in there.
So pretty easy to find me. Oh, I also want to bring up real quick. There's a building I put up for sale this week.
Oh,
I've seen.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
beautiful.
beautiful Victorian home. Needs a tiny. I mean, it just needs paint. It needs a little bit of
Little
love. but-
love.
yeah, a little love. It's but really, it's not like a ton. It's not
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's actually in good condition.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures. It's nice.
what's the address?
It is 207 North Reading Avenue,
Right up the street.
right up the street. Yeah, and it's a big corner lot. It's got a garage, 2-car garage, with a workshop above it. It's Victorian. It's got the turret on the corner.
I gotcha.
It's huge. It's 3,500 square feet, 6 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
What?
Woodwork that is amazing. You have to look at it. If you haven't seen it yet, Matt, you
I
got to
gotta look at it.
So
Yeah, I
woodwork
haven't seen
is amazing. It looks like it was put in yesterday.
And
which
just a
is
5-minute
crazy
walk
part.
away from cheesecake.
Yeah, right. Go see that house and then come get a cheesecake.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
something
You-
else you could do this weekend.
Exactly. That's
Holy.
the first thing you should do. Hit the cheesecake, then do
Life
all
is short,
the
eat
rest.
dessert first.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Anything else, sir?
No, but you can hit the cheesecake. You can walk down to the listing, look at the house, and then you go to State Theater because it's only 1 block away from the State Theater.
Perfect.
Boom.
Bam.
What are
Boom.
we playing this
Bam.
weekend? Do you know?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
There you go.
It's another nice evening out, man. Maybe you should do that on Friday, and then Saturday come to Pottstown.
That's right.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, because there's not a whole lot going on Friday in Pottstown.
All right, folks.
But Saturday's packed.
This is the Cast at Glocker. We're on every Wednesday at 6-ish. Sometimes we're a little late getting on the air. Today we were pretty good, though. Every Wednesday at 6-ish is the Cast at Glocker. We're talking to businesses, individuals, and organizations here in Boyertown and the surrounding community. Help us help you support the community. If you want to be on the show, contact Jen at Glocker.com. She's the producer of the show.
And a
She-
damn fine one, too.
and a damn fine one. Jen at Glocker.com will get you on the Cast at Glocker.
Yes.
I am Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. That's how you can find me on all social media platforms. You will also find my other show, Porchcast Pottstown, which is on Tuesday and Thursday nights at 5-ish.
Super interesting shows, too.
Yeah.
I love watching them.
These are the folks from Semper Pie. They are at 14 South Reading Avenue in the lovely borough of Boyertown.
Come and see us.
Get yourself
Come
one
and
of
see
these
us.
beautiful, beautiful cheesecakes.
And
they
as you
are
can see,
awesome.
pretty
I
good.
would have licked that thing if it was a
Not
plate.
much evidence left.
I would have licked it.
Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for
you.
making this episode a success. The Cast at Glocker. See you next Wednesday, sometime around 6.
Sometimes around 6. Very close to 6.
Have a good night, everybody.